Dear straight men, please drink more.
Why, so you can take advantage of me?
Caitlyn versus Ellen, it's on.
And affairs of the art, coming up today on The Point. Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. And what's happening here?
I was waving at everybody.
Oh, you were
I was
waving.
saying hello to all the people.
You're so friendly.
Oh, try.
And of course, joining us today again is Teigan Reamsbottom of the Reamsbottom Position,
Yes.
which I love saying.
Podcast, not just the position, but the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
That costs more.
Oh. We also have a very special guest with us. I have to say, okay, I'm going to try to say your name correctly. Mia Raicevic.
Not bad. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
That pause is part of it, right?
Yeah,
Like that
definitely.
big-
Mia
It's like a three-point name.
She's here because she is part of the collective known as Nuit Rose, which is an art crawl. How would you describe Nuit Rose?
It's a queer art and performance festival. I think it's one of the only, well, probably the only large-scale queer art and performance festival of its kind in Toronto.
Wow, cool.
Welcome. Welcome to the
Oh,
show.
welcome, yes. So, talking point number one, queer art pop. So, Nuit Rose, some people may be familiar with a festival known as Nuit Blanche, because that happens in a lot of cities around the world, which is an all-night art crawl. This is, Nuit Blanche, of course, means white night.
That's right.
But Nuit Rose is pink night, right? Because it's queer,
Yeah.
right? How did this, and Toronto's the only place that has this?
Yes, that's right. Well, we're the only ones that host the Nuit Rose. I'm sure that other cities around the world, they have their own versions of queer art festivals, but at this point in Toronto, this is the biggest and really the only thing of its kind.
Wow. So how did it, now this is third year, fourth year?
Fourth year.
Fourth year. So how did it happen? How did this?
Well, it started out, it was started by a couple of people from the Throbbing Rose Collective.
The Throbbing Rose
That's correct,
Collective.
yes. So this is a group of local queer artists who came together and, from their experience working in the community, they realized that there was a real need for something like this in the city, and they put their heads and their hearts together and they came up with this festival. So yes, it is similar to Nuit Blanche in the sense that it happens around the city and that it's an evening-wide thing and it's a one-day thing only, but it's different in the sense that we have a very different community and we have a very different voice, and at this point there's really no other outlet for such a voice. So we're just doing our best to bring the community together with art and enjoy the amazing creativity that our city has to offer.
So what, I mean, at the point of this taping, you don't know who all the artists are quite yet that are taking part this year,
Well, we have
correct?
an idea. We had an overwhelming amount of submissions this year, actually, so we're really thrilled about that. And today, actually, we are receiving confirmations for who most of the participants are. We have a good idea of who's going to be showing. We have a big number, over 60 people from what I understand are confirmed so far. We have a variety of art, performance, and it's happening through the Church and Wellesley Village area and a bunch of other places around the city. Yeah.
Right, so the gay neighborhood, but also sort
That's
of...
kind of the hub, yeah.
Yeah. So what, I mean, I know you can't talk about the artists that are taking part this year, but what kind of art has been showcased in the past?
Well, I mean, you have to understand, even though I'm calling it queer art, at the end of the day, art is art, right? So what makes it special is that it's giving queer artists a voice in Toronto.
Well, actually, that's
Yeah.
a separate, what is queer art as opposed to art?
I mean, it's all really kind of what you choose to take away from it, really. Queer art is art that's made by a queer person, but it can also be art that's made by anybody that may have queer undertones. So, and we're open to both sides. We definitely want to place an importance on giving queer artists a space to show their work, and that's really what the festival comes down to. But it's so far it's acted as an amazing uniting force for our city. We've even had the pleasure of bringing in people from other towns. We have, last year I remember we had some amazing work coming from other countries as well. So it's only been, it's only 4 years old, but it's growing amazingly, and I think that by next year, we're going to have a real draw for the city. in terms of what this festival is.
From other countries?
That's right. We had an artist come from Jamaica last year to participate in the exhibit, and she enjoyed it. We absolutely loved working with her, and she's become a close friend to myself and a lot of other team members. So this is really something that's opening up a lot of doors for people, and it's hopefully putting our city on the map too.
So what's your connection? Are you an artist yourself? How did you get involved?
I was an artist many years ago, coming out of OCAD.
Was an artist?
Yeah, I was. I still kind of...
Once an artist, always an artist.
Yeah, I guess so. I still kind of consider myself an artist. I'm a very creative person, but at this point, having worked in the art scene in Toronto for such a number of years, I've taken more the role of doing publicity and marketing for artists, promoting their work, helping them book shows, and that's kind of how I got involved with Nuit Rose as well. Funny story, I actually... Before I even heard about the festival, I was organizing queer art shows during Pride for 2 years. And then in my second year, somebody, a former boss of mine, Sonia Sharf from Akasha Art Projects, she was working with Nuit Rose at the time, and she suggested that I reach out to the team as well, because we just had such... we were doing really similar things, and I was kind of at a point where I was like, well, nobody else is doing this, and there needs to be more support, and there needs to be more artists. And lo and behold, there was already a festival in place that was doing much more than what I as a one-man show could put together. So we ended up joining teams, and I started helping them with publicity and marketing, and that's the capacity that I represent them in at this point.
Wow. So this takes place. Actually, you mentioned Pride. I mean, this takes place the weekend before Toronto Pride.
That's correct. Yes.
Right. So what are the dates?
So this year we're actually expanding the festival, and we're doing a couple more things. Usually it's been just a one-day thing. This year we're still doing the festival, the main festival, on June the 17th. It's a whole day thing, going up until I say midnight or so. But we're also throwing a big party on the 16th of June in collaboration with this wonderful collective called Never Apart from Montreal, and Michael Venus. That's right. So they're actually bringing their famous Wiggle Party to Toronto for the first time.
Wiggle Party?
That's right. It's kind of a big deal.
What is a Wiggle Party?
It's this amazing fashion art performance party type of thing, and it has to do with people making crazy wild wigs and then displaying them, and then kind of the party kind of revolves around that. Yeah.
Wow.
That
So
sounds
are you going to go with your paddle, like on point, off point?
Yes.
It'll be like the Met Gala?
Yeah. I will judge everyone.
Well,
That sounds fun.
You do that all the time.
Yeah.
And this takes place, like you said, well, actually, where's the Wiggle Party?
So it's taking place on June 16th, whereas the festival is happening on June 17th. So the party itself, the Wiggle Party, it's happening at Barbara Hall Park by the 519.
Okay, so
We're
right in
also-
the gay neighborhood.
Yeah, right around there. We're also playing with the idea of an additional space, but we will announce that at some point in the future.
So the Wiggle Party is an outdoor thing.
That's right, yeah.
Well, now, and there are
Need
different
room to wiggle.
room to wiggle.
Yeah.
And some people need more room to wiggle than others.
Hashtag wiggle this way.
Wiggle this way.
Yeah.
Hashtag wiggle this way.
That's right.
And it's not just like you talk about the park that's next to the LGBT community center.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the LGBT community center, the 519, but it's in other places around the city as well, correct?
Wiggle?
No, the whole festival.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, of course, the central hub is the village. So we're doing a lot of exhibits in the 519 and on the street as well. There's going to be a lot of performances taking place during the day and the evening. We also have the Light Parade, which is an evening thing that Nuit Rose does. And that's really awesome because people wear light-emitting objects and make lanterns. And we always actually do this cool free workshop just before the festival, too, where people can make their own lanterns and stuff. So people just like walk down the street at night, glowing, and it's this like really cool kind of collective neighborhood
rave.
community thing. Yeah, like mini rave. It's really cute.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but aside from that, one other major venue that we're going to be working with is Daniel Spectrum, and we've got a couple of other places listed.
That's a gallery, right?
Well, it's a collective art space.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a major space out in the East End, and people throw art shows there and that kind of thing. So we're going to be expanding and doing things in a couple of other areas, but of course, keep tabs on Nuit Rose Facebook page so you can get ideas about where to, plan your evening and.
Well,
how
I was
do
going to
that.
say a lot of people. A Pride in Toronto is one of the largest prides in the world, and
Yeah.
it's a big tourist draw. And a lot of people may think of it. It's just the big parade or whatever. But there's a lot going on the weekend before.
Of course.
And that's when Nuit Rose is going on. So if you're planning on coming to Toronto to check out Pride, come early so you can take part in this big city-wide queer art
Yeah.
thing. So if people want to plan and come to Toronto for Nuit Rose, how can they check you out online? And
Our website is nuitrose.ca, and I would also recommend going to our Facebook page because that gets a lot of exciting updates, and you can see all about the programming on there. It's just facebook.com/nuitrosetoronto.
cool.
And we're going to be releasing all the scheduling information on there. We're going to let you know who all the artists are, and you can even make plans about how to visit us through there as well.
Cool.
Thank you.
That's exciting. And actually, one of the reasons we wanted to have you here today is because we actually have a big announcement to make. Because the point...
You're pregnant.
Congratulations!
Only
Mazel
with
tov.
pauses.
I'm pregnant, and Mia's here because she's the
Love
father? I don't know.
father,
pauses.
something.
Pregnant with pauses.
I'm pregnant with pauses. I'm pregnant
And I'm the dad.
with pauses. The point is actually going to be part of Nuit Rose.
We're very excited to have you guys.
And we're excited to be a part of it. And we didn't get any special treatment, right? We
I love how you threw that in.
We submitted our proposal just like everybody else,
Yeah.
and the jury or the jurors said
That's right.
yes. So we will actually be doing our season finale, our first season finale, live as part of Nuit Rose. In fact, it's going to be an expanded evening of The Point, because not only are we shooting in front of a live studio audience, but we will also be a broadcast. What's the term? Internet casting.
Streaming.
Streaming.
Internet.
I think internet casting is going to catch on.
How old are you?
What's that called?
Hashtag how old is Fred? We will be streaming live on Facebook Live.
I had to think about it too. I'm like, what do you
I know,
need?
but you had to think about it. Anyway, so we will be shooting live as part of Nuit Rose in the 519 Community Center on that Saturday evening, June 17th. So we're very excited
Crazy.
about that.
Thank you so much.
So if you want to see how this all happens in real time, you can come down to the 519 and check us out.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And our season finale, can you imagine? We're actually
It's crazy.
we've made it almost a year.
That's crazy.
I know.
Crazy,
It's crazy. And of course, thank you for continuing to watch. Well, Mia's you said you would stick around and play with us for the rest of the episode, correct?
You're gonna stick around and play with us.
Cool. Yay. And now it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
To Taurus.
All right, this week we're playing Pinpoint, and it is all art. So it's going to be a zoomed-in image of a famous piece of art, and you guys have to guess which one it is.
How do you expect me not to cheat with it right there?
And I love the fact that you planned this because Mia's here and talking about art and queer art,
Yes.
and you're doing. I give you props.
Obviously, I shouldn't participate in this one because I'm going to know all the answers. Sorry.
You should. Okay, first one.
Mona Lisa.
God,
It's
wait,
upside
this
down
is-
though.
Yes, that's actually, this is Mona Lisa drowning in the shower.
No, it's actually
Okay,
a
well-
selfie of Tito. that
It
he
is
took.
It
actually.
looks like my
it is
Aunt
Mona
Shirley when she had
Lisa.
jaundice.
All right, you should hold those up higher.
Yes.
I know. I'm just trying to
It's a starry night.
Yeah, by Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yes, it is.
Actually, okay, a bonus point
yes.
if you know who wrote and recorded the famous song Vincent that starts out, Starry, Starry
Leonard Cohen.
Night. No, not Leonard Cohen.
Bob Dylan?
No.
Oh, I know this because it was on a Simpsons episode, but I can't think of the name of the artist.
He's also he's most famous for American Pie.
Oh, what's that guy's name?
Don
Don
McLean.
McLean. Yes. Very good.
Next.
Oh, that's,
That's the screaming one with the funny
yeah.
I
face.
think it's called The Scream.
The
Yeah,
Scream.
Edward Munch.
Yes.
Oh, Monk? I thought it was Munch.
Close.
Okay.
So that's the one, y'all.
Cool.
Next.
Is that
that's the Last
drive-through
Supper.
dinner?
What did you say?
What did I say? Drive-through dinner?
TV dinner.
It is. You're right.
Last Supper.
What's he pointing at?
Which was
Her boobs.
Oh, he's pointing at her
Michelangelo?
No,
breasticles.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Oh wait, no, that's a guy. Oops.
Oh,
Jesus
is it?
looks real feminine there. I'm just saying.
That's not Jesus.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Mary.
it's the one right beside him.
Mary.
I think that's Mary.
Mary Magdalene.
That
Da
would have been
Vinci?
too obvious.
Did we determine?
It's Da Vinci.
It's Da
Oh,
Vinci.
you're right. You're right.
Well, there you
Wow,
have
they
it.
both have brown hair. It's like the same image,
Yeah,
except this one
yeah.
has a beard.
Except
Yeah, and a bit of a
Jesus. Jesus does
He's
not
black.
look. Okay, so Jesus was from Israel, right?
Why does he
from
not have a tan?
Why? Yes, he doesn't look Middle Eastern at all.
There's actually a really great thing. A scientist
Da
did
Vinci
this thing where they,
painted it.
they recreated what Jesus would have looked like based on like skulls and things that they found from the era, and it's very, very different than what
Yeah.
we have been told the white sort of
Yeah.
Christ that we're all used to.
Oh, that I know, because that's one of my favorite
yeah,
paintings.
yeah, that's a good. I know what that one is.
What's it called?
Clocks?
In memory of time. It's
No.
Salvador Dali.
It's Salvador Dali.
It's a Dali.
the,
Persistence of Memory.
the
Yes.
dripping clocks.
Yes, Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali.
Should have called it dripping
That's
clocks.
the one.
I used to in my
Okay.
in my university dorm room. I actually, you know how like there's cheesy prints of famous paintings that
And
are
you
on
had a
sale at
print
the
of that.
student. I had a print of that.
Amazing.
Next.
Kill the baby.
Kirstie Alley.
What?
Kirstie Alley.
As a baby?
Throwing some
Probably.
shade.
Yeah.
Nobody? It's the first one.
It's a Botticelli.
It's a scary kid, though.
It's the first one.
It does look.
That you guys don't know.
It looks very Botticelli.
It's Botticelli, it must be.
It's the creation of Adam. It's Michelangelo.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know when the finger's touching, but it's on the other side.
Oh, we would have gotten the
Oh.
finger touching.
I was
I thought that was-
tricking. I'm tricking. Yeah, it was a
Sistine
trick.
Chapel.
I-
right?
So it's,
yeah.
the little angel.
I thought the fingers touching was E.T.
You never notice how this looks like a brain?
Yeah.
It does. Oh my
Doesn't it?
God.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Man touching the intellect of God.
That's
or
a really
something.
smart painting.
Oh.
Pretty wild.
Very smart painting.
Very smart
It's
painting.
like all I remember from OCAD.
Next.
Man holding broom handle.
Okay.
Man holding stick.
Okay, so what famous painting has a
Oh,
man?
American Gothic.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's the one.
I was getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
those
who
two.
did American Gothic?
American Gothic was
Ryan Murphy, I
Grant
think.
Wood.
Brian Murphy.
Grant Wood.
Grant Wood. I would not. Number one, I wouldn't have known that. Number two, that sounds like a porn name.
Okay. That's nice.
Moving on.
Okay.
Next.
Oh, is that the Venus? The
Venus,
flying
yeah.
Venus?
Yeah.
Venus.
Yeah.
Birth
that's-
of Venus?
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
Yes. I was singing Lady Gaga in my head every time. Every time I see
I
this.
sing Bananarama.
That's also one from The
Yes.
Simpsons
Oh,
as
lovely.
well.
Who did that one?
Let me take a look. It was Sandra Botticelli.
Sandra
Oh, that's
Bullock.
Botticelli. Cassandra?
In between, she did
Sandro!
Speed,
Oh,
and then she
Sandro.
painted this, and then she did Speed 2.
Yeah, she had a very, very active painting
You
career
guys
at
are
some point, I believe.
killing this whole.
Applehead. Apple in the face.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know what you're
René
talking about.
Magritte.
Yeah.
And it's called
I don't remember.
The Son
Apple of My Eye.
The Son of Man.
Oh, I could not have told you that.
Well, clearly you didn't.
I always remember the painter, but I don't always remember the name of the
Yeah.
painting.
See, I feel like I'd be the total opposite.
Yeah, no, I knew the artist, but I could not have told. Oh, yeah.
All right, last one.
No, oh, David!
Is that a penis?
Is it the Vitruvian?
Yeah, that's-
Donald Trump.
Michelangelo's
No,
David, right?
Vitruvian
No,
Man.
it's the
something.
Oh, the thing.
Vitruvian.
Yeah.
Is that a
What's that
small...
called?
There you go.
Is it Vitruvian? I don't know.
It looks like a small penis.
It is.
yeah, it's the
Donald Trump.
Is that like close?
yes,
What's it called again? What's
that
that?
one.
Da
Da
Vinci.
Vitruvian Man, right?
Vitruvian.
Yeah, it's Da Vinci.
By
I know a thing.
Da Vinci.
oh, that's Da Vinci too. Wow, this was a very intellectual,
What can I say?
high-class midpoint, Tito.
Okay.
I learned I know nothing about art.
Yeah.
Well, then it was all worthwhile.
Yes.
Well, then you obviously have to come to the festival.
Exactly.
Right.
And this
there
is
you
like
go.
the best way to get ready to go to the festival. Brush up on your art so that when you can go to the festival, you can, rub your chin appropriately and pretend like you have the most like intellectual thing to say
Exactly.
about the
Good.
piece.
Yeah, Tito, work on that.
Yeah. There you go.
There you
wait,
go.
Wait, Try
Thank
this.
you, Tito.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
You gotta squint your eyes a little bit, look almost like disinterested, but like curious. There you go. That was
You've got
beautiful,
time
that
to
was
work on.
Okay,
You
it's
got a bunch of
time to
practice.
close up today's midpoint. And that brings us to talking point number 2. Silver is the new husband. Okay, so openly gay professional rugby player Sam Stanley announced his engagement to his partner of 7 years named Lawrence Hicks. Okay, Sam Stanley is 25 and quite fit, and hopefully we can get the photo up on the screen. His partner is, well, he hasn't quite said his age, but most people estimate that he's at least 20 years older.
At least.
He's not quite as fit, and as soon as they announced, once they announced their engagement, of course,
It's a sugar daddy.
the
Glorified
trolls-
sugar
No,
daddy.
Doesn't need a sugar
okay,
daddy.
Okay,
He's good.
Okay, now they did meet online on a website called. Oh, where's the name of that website?
It's seeking arrangement or
It's
something.
it's like
yeah.
silverdaddies.com.
Or something like that.
It's something like that. So this Sam Stanley went online because he's into older guys. Went to not sugar daddy, silver daddy.
What's the difference?
Okay, yeah.
Well, a sugar daddy.
It's like a silver fox, like older, like yeah.
Right. So silver daddies are like, yeah. But a sugar daddy
You know,
gives
he
you the money.
knows.
And of course, the internet went wild, saying that it's not a real relationship because he's so much older. Of course, there's body image issues involved in that. Oh yeah, silverdaddies.com.
Because we've never seen
That's cute,
an
though.
older man with a younger, fitter partner before.
Celine Dion.
Or literally everyone in any
Yeah.
celebrity couple of.
It's just different
past
when they're
100
gay,
years.
right? Like it's
Is it?
It's not.
Isn't it
it's
strange
a
that like
perception that yeah, it's just I
I actually
don't
feel
know.
bad for them both because I feel like it isn't anybody's place to comment
Yeah.
on their
Right.
relationship. Like
Yeah.
if they're happy,
Right.
let them
it's
do
not
their
news
thing.
to
Yeah, what are
them.
they trying to prove by
Getting
that?
engaged and getting
Come
married
on,
isn't a
guys.
surprise to the two of them. They already knew who the other person was. They're choosing to be in it. Like, fuck off, everyone else.
But
Just
wait
let
a
them
second.
do them.
When it
Like,
comes to straight people as well, we have many, many examples where we have a rich, older, affluent man who is dating, sometimes married to a considerably younger woman, some model or whatever. And it's
I
expected.
have no idea who you could be
gonna say-
talking about.
And it's expected that in those type of circles that it's totally fine that, the woman is young and, practically illiterate. That's totally okay if it's a man and a woman. But for some reason, why do the tables change? Why do the tables turn?
Because
when
in
it
that
becomes
case it's
two
always
men?
about money, I think.
But he doesn't need money. He was a
no,
successful
and with the
athlete.
girl with the younger women and the older man. I
Well,
feel
it
like.
also flips in straight couples too, because then you have the boy toy, right? Who
Yeah, but you don't really see
Madonna,
that as
J Lo.
often,
But how does it work?
Yeah.
Like in this
But again, with
situation where
that,
the guy
it's
has money.
Right, he doesn't need. Well, he's just into older. Number one, I actually do think in the gay community, it's more acceptable to be into older guys, younger guys. I do think there's more of a stigma among straight people than
Yeah.
gay people. Although I don't know how that is with women.
It doesn't seem to be a thing, and if it does happen, it doesn't get talked about a lot. And if it does get talked about, it's always, she's a cougar.
Yeah.
People deny that young men could possibly be attracted to older, powerful women. That's
Love
like
older
impossible.
women. I love older women. I always have.
They're
I was
awesome.
with a
Why shouldn't
32-year-old
you?
when I was 18.
You were.
Yeah, for a while.
But I also think this. No, I'm not denying your cougar wants. A lot of the reporting about this was talking about in terms of their age difference. I think that if he was and I hate to put it like this, but if he were a good-looking, fit, older man, I don't think
No one would
there
care.
would be talk about this. I mean, I don't know if you had seen the photos. Here's There's a photo of the two of them. I think a lot of this comes from this idea that, oh, the other guy couldn't possibly be into him. That there must be something wrong. Like if this was Anderson Cooper and Sam Stanley, no one would say a thing.
But don't you think that then it makes it almost seem like the queer community is projecting its own insecurities onto this unwitting poor couple?
Absolutely.
Like
you
people
look at
are
the
into what they're
pictures-
into, you know, like we all know younger guys here who are into daddies. We all know older guys who are into twinks, and it's, you know, nobody bats an eye at that. But when these people are, you know, in the media, when they're affluent people, all of a sudden everybody has 2 cents to chime in.
absolutely.
And this fit
And as far as
rugby
I'm
player looks
concerned,
happier
if
than
they're happy,
the
whatever.
other guy does.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's actually enjoying himself in these
We don't know what
photographs
he's
more
getting
than
out of the
anything.
relationship at the end of the day. And I don't think it's
Why
like...
are people so willing to criticize other people's relationships? Like, you know,
Because they're not happy in their own,
I
obviously.
mean, other people, if they're getting married, let them get married. Who cares? No one's getting hurt. I mean, as far as we know, nobody's getting hurt or being taken advantage. Nothing illegal is happening. Who cares? Leave them alone.
So to all the people commenting on this, worry about your own ass.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not
They're commenting
intended.
at us.
No pun
That's
intended.
it.
We would never troll other people and their private lives. Caitlyn Jenner.
We are down to troll her, however. That's for sure.
Okay, so Caitlyn Jenner, she has this new book out called The Secrets of My Life, where she says that she spills...
She trashed her entire family. Chris was like, hates her now.
She spilled all the tea
Yeah.
on everything and her life. So, as we may know, many people in the LGBT community are not Caitlyn's biggest fan. Caitlyn blames Ellen DeGeneres for that.
Of course.
She should blame herself for being a garbage person.
Well, she says that she did an interview with Ellen, but the way the interview was edited, it made it seem like Caitlyn was not as on board with marriage equality as Caitlyn says she actually is, because her quote in the interview is, where is it? I just had the quote. I don't ever want to stand in front of someone's happiness. That's not my job. I can go with it. Not exactly a ringing endorsement of it. Well, then Ellen DeGeneres went on the Howard Stern show and talked about it, and talked about how this Caitlyn Jenner interview and how she's not Caitlyn's biggest fan. You're not a fan of Caitlyn or
I have
Ellen.
a lot to say on this.
Okay, and go.
Okay, first off, Caitlyn thinks that's why people don't like her. How about the fact that she ran over and killed a woman and didn't go to jail for it? So that's the first one.
Yeah, there you
I'm over
go.
that.
Second, own your words. And I will also say, though, in her defense, I do think Ellen manipulated that situation and set her up knowing how Caitlyn would react. So I think that was super shady. Ellen's been kind of known to do that before, but Caitlyn needs to take some responsibility for her actions and her words and what she represents. And she's really bringing the trans storyline and movement to a lot of people who would not hear it otherwise.
But she's also doing it from a place of serious privilege.
Yes.
You know, the thing about that is that people who are going through what she's going through, a lot of them do not have even 1% of the resources that are available to her consistently.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why she needs to be very transparent about that and carry the torch, but tell the real story, because her picture, like it was a real swan story. And I mean, I have many trans friends, and that's not the way it goes. People don't have the money, that it just doesn't happen.
The classic riches to riches story that was.
Totally.
So, being that there's a lot that Caitlyn doesn't understand, I mean, she understands the media and how to manipulate the media. And I don't mean manipulate in a negative sense. There's no judgment there, and right?
But she was married to Kris Jenner, so yeah, we totally can use manipulate here.
Okay, sure. But being that she comes from
shade at Chris.
being that she does come from a point of privilege, and
Chris is a genius, though.
do we give her any leeway or sympathy for not understanding the plight of the average transgender person?
I mean, she's touched on it on her her
On the
series.
show, yeah.
It's not like she doesn't know that.
Right,
But she just says a lot of stupid shit still. But she understands that she comes from privilege.
Well, frankly, she said
I
she
don't
voted
think-
for Donald Trump. I mean, if you want to be...
Did
if
she
you want-
seriously?
Yeah.
She did. It says a lot about her personality that for her, money is more important than the lives of her trans family around the world.
Well, she's always been Republican, so she's just like dead set on
Right,
always
that's what
being
she
one.
said. She
no
was on The
excuse.
View. She was on The View, and she said, you know, I've always been a Republican. I've always, you know, supported Republican candidates. She said she's not a fan of what Trump has done so far in terms of the LGBT community. How she could be a fan of anything Trump is doing, and she said that she reserves judgment in terms of whether or not she would support Trump for re-election.
A point on that, to like taking responsibility for her words, it really bothered me when she had these really wishy-washy, like, oh, he's good for trans rights. You know exactly who he is, you knew who he was, so you just should have come out and said, I support him, and not tried to be so phony about it. She knew exactly who he was the whole time. I can't stand Caitlyn Jenner.
Really? I didn't get that impression. Maybe you just need a drink right now.
Maybe I do.
But more importantly, maybe the straight men on the panel need a drink. That's because a new study published in the do you like that? A new study published in the Journal of Social Psychology has come to the conclusion that the more straight men drink, the more likely they are to find other men sexually attractive.
Yep.
Yes?
Well, obviously. I mean,
Yep.
sexuality is a spectrum, and so all alcohol does is it drops your inhibitions, so you don't need to hide behind this bullshit persona of like, I'm a dude, I only like chicks, like, oh man, those gays, get them away from it, like, you know, with this fake thing.
That's my favorite thing ever.
This
You can do
fake
that more
macho thing that they do, that obviously you can get past that sort of veneer and realize, like, yeah, no, like...
No, but when straight guys are with their bros, they'll totally be like super homoerotic though, right?
I never understood that. Like
I always, when I'm hammered, I'll like grab my buddy and kiss him and
so
stuff on the cheek.
anytime like a gay guy's around them, they get like so nervous, like everyone wants to sleep with them. It's like, get over yourself.
Maybe everybody at the
In this
bar,
case, sure. But
everybody that goes to clubs should maybe have to wear their Kinsey number on a shirt, so you know after they drink. So yeah, you might see a Kinsey 1, and you know, okay, there's a chance there.
Well, there's that joke about a six
What's
pack.
a Kinsey number?
Oh, the Kinsey scale?
There's a Kinsey scale to determine sexuality. So it's 0 to 6. 0 is exclusively heterosexual. 6 is exclusively homosexual. And then it kind of like tapers off, and then the 3 is like.
no one is really a 1.
And nobody's really a 0 or a 6, really.
Sexuality is much too complicated.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's
I
all
think
a kind of a blur.
I think I'm a Kinsey 6. I'm gonna get shirts made that say Kinsey 6.
Kinsey 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
A jersey.
Actually, I because women are at least viewed as being more open to
Girl on girl action.
bisexuality, or however you want to phrase it. I don't even know if I'm phrasing it correctly. Is there the same kind of joke amongst women that, oh, you know, after a 6-pack, or whatever, a bottle of Chardonnay, I don't know, that
Rosé.
a straight woman is
Bottle
more
strut.
likely to, you know, kiss a girl, and I liked it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, you know, like I was saying, I think that human sexuality is an incredibly complicated thing. And as much as society and science and media want to portray it as a very black and white world, I like to think that it's various shades of pink at the end of the day. So I think that, you know, society and expectations of people around us play a huge role in how we see ourselves and how we see our own desire for other people. You know, men tend to have more of a pressure placed on them in their environments for, you know, the mask and how they're supposed to conduct themselves and behave. And it takes usually some sort of stimulants to bring down that mask. Whereas for women, they're almost encouraged to just, you know, put it out there. We also have, you know, concepts like the male gaze, where a lot of straight women will orient themselves towards other women for the purpose of the male gaze. So there's things like that too. At the end of the day, like, you know, people should just do what they're happy with, and consenting adults can do what they want, as far as I'm concerned.
When you said the male gaze, I was like, well, the three of us, we're the male gaze. Well, thank you, Mia. You were a great addition to the panel today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Endpoints. Tito, Bop of the Week.
Bob of the Week this week is Afrojack With David Guetta featuring
Oh.
Esther Dean, and it's called Another Life.
Bastard D.
I think these
Esther Dean.
I need to hear
these
this. I
song
like
titles need
Afrojack.
to get longer. I think they're not long enough.
Featuring.
Well, TJs have a lot
And
of features.
Tegan, your podcast has been rebranded. So how can people now find you on the internets?
I'm everywhere.
He's streaming.
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Your internet casting.
You can still find me on Twitter at Teganish, but the website for the podcast is thereamsbottomposition.com. Links there to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Mia Raicevic of Nuit Rose. Again, when, where is Nuit Rose?
The big dates that you need to keep in mind are June 16th, that's the Wiggle Party, and that's going to be an amazing, amazing outdoor event. And then the actual festival of Nuit Rose is June 17th, and you can check this out on nuitrose.ca or on our Facebook page, Nuit Rose Toronto. We're going to have more information about programming and artists coming up shortly.
Amazing. And of course, we will be there at Nuit Rose as
You
well.
better come
So
see
we'll
us.
give you more details as soon as we firm up all those details, but we will be part of Nuit Rose. Of course, we're also part of Reverie, the world's largest LGBTQ streaming service. Check us out there at reverie.tv. Our crowdfunding site is on Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. Go to iTunes to get our audio podcast. YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Press the button. Helps us out greatly, doesn't cost you a thing. Of course, for everything,
Creepy.
The Point.
Press the button.
Press the button. Our website, thepointguys.net. Again, thank you, Tegan. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will
See you next Tuesday.
on The Point.
Bye-bye.